try. I don't know. Couldn't find a rhyme there.
Well, and it's getting tough, man. Like there's nowhere that's like got dollar menus anymore. I mean, not that I want to eat fast food, but damn, like that shit used to be cheap. That doesn't exist anymore.
Nope. There's like everything's leaving and going either digital or like value plan. So, the dollar menu is now the $4 menu, that type of shit, and it's like it's a value menu now.
Yeah.
Getting a value. It's like, yeah, I mean, what about the 99-cent Whopper back in the day? It was $1.05 after tax where we live, and get fucking $2.10. Get you 2 Whoppers and you fucking have lunch as a kid. That's awesome, right?
Yeah. Well, I remember we'd send somebody with a $20 bill down to Wendy's and get the junior bacon cheeseburgers.
Oh, dude. It's fucking insane. Like, it's a perfect stoner food, right?
Yep. Come back with like 18 of them and you're like, oh man, everybody's getting burgers tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's like, fuck, I don't know what that would cost.
Jesus, dude, I don't even know. I mean, I could look at the menu and fucking bring this shit up real quick.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I haven't eaten at Wendy's in a coon's age.
I couldn't fucking tell you the last time I even fucking saw one, to be honest. Not a lot of Wendy's where I live. View our menu. I wonder if they have prices. Let's see if they even have prices on here.
Oh, I don't know, but I think Copilot's a little bit off. It's like 1 cent.
Fucking AI.
I don't think that's correct.
Bacon double cheeseburger. I got hamburgers here. Let's see what the fucking... It's just a classic bacon, right?
It was the junior bacon is what it used to be called.
Yeah, it's just a JBC. 10, not bad. 370 calories, man. Let's see. Let's order. Let's start an order. See what's up with this shit. You can't do it until you start an order. Let's see. Aztec, New Mexico. Search that shit. Boom. Order in there. I don't want a combo. I just want to add 5 JBCs.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That'd feed like 2 people back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or checking out. We're going to just go through the drive-thru. It's a problem there.
It's easier that way.
$16.45.
How much?
$16.45.
You're shitting me.
For 5 junior bacon cheeseburgers. And it's 350 calories. That's how little this fucking hamburger is. Because most of those calories are bread.
Yeah. Yeah. No, dude, that used to be, that was about $5. I mean, yeah, you're looking at like $6 with some tax, right? But
yeah.
$16 for junior bacon cheeseburgers?
Yeah, for 5. Yeah. That's pretty great. That's
Jeez.
like, someone's probably like, hey man, give me a fucking chocolate shake, bro. I'm like, nope. We don't got enough. It's 16 bucks for 5, bro. We don't got enough today.
Dude. Like, it used to be, I mean, so that used to be a huge thing, right? Like when you were growing up, like you could be poor and you could probably still afford like value menu fast food.
Yeah.
And that was like a big concern as to why like obesity and all that stuff was taking place, was because, I mean, you could buy that stuff cheap. May not have been real nutritious food, but
yeah.
Holy shit. I can't imagine. Like, oh man, that was like my lifeline back in the day.
Hey man. Early stoners, like stoners these days, sucks for them.
Well, and I think they're even paying more for weed now than what we used to pay back in the day.
I'm sure. It's fucking get a fucking shitty swag bag and shit.
Yeah, it may have been sticks and beans, but it was like...
Yeah. Now it's like high grade ultraphonics fucking... super blend, like get you high by looking at it. Shit. So
yeah, that is crazy. $16.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I'm gonna do something else. Let's see. 87411. No, that's me. Wait, what's that stick? That's right?
87410, I think, is Aztec.
Oh yeah, it's 1010. Yeah, there it is. Just trying to get a local there. Oh yeah, there it is. I'm gonna order there from fucking 710 Broadway because I don't have Burger King there. That's in actually Farmington. Burgers for breakfast. Well, they do that. Oh, I can only buy breakfast right now, so I can't even get a Whopper. Okay, good job. Fuck you, Burger King. I can't even look at a Whopper price right now. I guess what is it? 8:30, 9:30. Nope, I couldn't even do it on the West Coast. Either way, I was going to see what the price of Whopper is just to see, but it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, no, that's pretty insane. I just the way that everything's costing nowadays. I don't even know how families are making it. I mean, obviously they're not.
Yeah, there's that. Definitely that. Holy fucking shit balls.
Huh.
Oh, hold up, dude. This ain't right. A Whopper is $4.19.
Jesus.
Check this out. A Whopper's $4.19, right? But a meal is $6.49. So what you're telling me is $2 and what? 25? Let's say $2.20 is worth a Coke and fries, but your fucking hamburger is worth $4.19. All right. Sounds about right. I mean, it used to be 99 cents.
Yeah. 99-cent Whoppers. Well, yeah, because it was the single Whopper was 99 cents. It was once until you got into like the double Whopper and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, everything's so expensive, dude. And then like the solution, right?
Print more money.
If you work at that place, you could get $20 an hour in California. It's the only place they do that. That makes sense. Hey, I don't have enough money to buy this food. Okay, well, if you work there, you're going to get $20 minimum. So now you have money to buy that food. Well, the price of fucking Cali Whopper, I guarantee you, is higher than the price of the rest of the country Whopper.
Oh, it's got to be.
It has to be because you can't raise the fucking minimum wage for fast food and not raise the fucking prices of the food because the businesses won't make it. I mean, they'll fucking make it because it's McDonald's and Burger King and shit, but they won't like it.
Yeah.
They'll move. They'll get the fuck out of there. Like everyone else, and they'll just bring their bullshit to Texas.
And that's happening a lot. So, and some of the crazy shit, have you seen like Texas, or not Texas, California right now, they want to charge you a tax for moving out of the state.
Hey, yeah.
And they want to charge you a tax, like if you ran a small business and you're going out of business, they want to charge you a tax for shutting your business down.
If they haven't already like shit on the fucking small town, the small business guy, now they're going to try to shit on him even more.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, you can't run your business. Well, we want to get paid for you not being able to run your business." Like, what the hell kind of law is that?
California's dopey, man.
They're dumb. Yeah,
they keep getting dumber and dumber people in there. For I don't know why they just keep just voting these stupids in there. I don't know.
I don't understand it.
I don't either.
I was in Indianapolis this week, and I'd never seen such aggressive homeless people in my life. Like, they would approach you like, I mean, I'm used to like the homeless people being like, hey. They would straight up walk up to you and be like, hey, have you ever met a homeless person before? It's like, yeah, you're like the third one in the past hour. And they'd be like, man, I ain't got no money. And they'd be like, oh, I take Venmo. It's like, what the hell?
I take Venmo. What means that?
The homeless people have gone digital.
Yeah, it's stupid.
They got their
phone. They have a fucking charger place. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you saw, I mean, it was funny, too, because the city had, like, electrical outlets by trees and stuff like that, probably for setting up Christmas lights and stuff like that during the holidays. And the outlets were all ripped apart. People would probably be charging off them because I'm sure they had them locked down for, with covers on them and stuff like that. But no, they're going to access them. Steal the copper out of them, whatever they can do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can... There's only so much you can do before you start addressing the problem. But that's what's going away. You're not going to have decorations anymore. You're not going to have nice things in your fucking town and in your area, because motherfuckers are going to rip it up and tear it up because you have a homeless problem.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you're homeless. It sucks, but also fucking don't care. What do you want me to do about you? We need, there's a bigger problem here and I ain't the fucking problem solver for that.
Yes.
That's the city, the state, the federal. That's their fucking problem.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, like in bigger cities too, it's like it's become such a pain to even shop in because everything's locked up.
It sucks, dude. Yeah, watching. I don't know from experience because I don't live in those areas. I mean, San Antonio is not great either, but any big cities kind of having the same problems. But just seeing it, it's like when you deal with like Targets and Walmarts being completely locked, you can't get anything.
Yeah.
CVS's, Walgreens, all that shit, all behind glass. You can't get anything unless you ask for it. It's so weird.
Yeah, and that's like always awesome, especially when everybody's short-staffed, right? Like It's like you can't find anybody to be like, hey, I want to get this. Like you would almost need to be given a personal shopper with you at the store to be able to walk through the store and be like, well, I want that. Well, I want to compare this and this.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. What are you gonna do? Just move somewhere where they're not. I guess they'll be there eventually. Just try to hide from it as long as you can.
Yeah.
Just move cold, like really cold, and like Alaska, then you'll probably be all right.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're homeless in Alaska, I mean, and they're making it there, that means they're probably pioneer type people. They're not living in the woods and thinking, oh no, I can self-sustain.
They're at home, bro. They're not homeless. They got their own home. If you're in Alaska and you're like out on the streets, like you just build a cabin, I guess, man. And you live there. That's like an old joke, man.
What was it, Bitch Hedberg? I have severely improved my predicament.
Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do? You get to build you a log cabin, bro. Put some mud in there and grow some grass on your fucking roof. I don't know, dude.
That was the other cool thing that I noticed when I was in Indianapolis this last week was a lot of the buildings actually had, like on top of their buildings themselves and parking structures, they actually had a lot of landscaping. And it wasn't like it looked like weeds in a sense. Like they put rocks and they like really kind of native type plants. And I don't know if it was to help the bees and to help improve air quality and all the way around in the downtown area. But some buildings had trees growing on top of them, stuff like that. It was kind of interesting to see. I hadn't seen that before.
That is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, I don't know what's the purpose. I don't know. I guess it's cool. I don't know what does it do?
That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, other than improving air quality and being a place for bees to be able to pollinate. I don't know.
I mean, one tornado and I don't.
Yeah, we were under tornado watch while I was there, so that was fun.
Yeah, you were right in the middle of that stuff. We got tornado. We had tornado right where we are, just not far down the road, and we were on watch for like a little bit. It's kind of freaky. It's pretty nasty there, but yeah, man, it was good though because like weather's doing what it's supposed to do, which is good, I guess.
Heck yeah. Weather being weather.
Weather do be weather.
Welcome to the Eclectic Podcast, the most eclectic podcast on the net, with your hosts Dylan, Rick, and Hans. This podcast is intended for mature audiences. If it happens to offend you, fuck off. Skynet is God.
So how are you doing today, Dylan?
All right, man. Just L-I-V-I-N.
Circle Lane. Yeah, I hear you.
How about you? How you doing today in this early morn?
Doing pretty good. It's I've got some stuff I got to take care of. Yesterday I kind of took it easy, went grocery shopping, and it's been crazy weekends, like back to back to back to back. I haven't gotten to relax for like a day where I haven't gotten to do nothing. Like if like the only thing on my high point for that day was playing video games, I haven't gotten to do that in a while. But
oh man,
kind of looking forward to just chilling, relaxing.
Cool beans.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I did watch the first episode of Fallout.
Oh, did you? What did you think?
I thought it was pretty good. Did you watch any of it at all? Mm-hmm. What did you think? Did you like it?
Yeah, I finished it up. It was pretty good. It's one of those things where I think a second season's gonna ruin it, but yeah. Just like most things, it's gonna get touched by the fucking shitheads, and yeah, first season they did a really good job. I have some complaints based on like some characters, but for the most part, like I thought it was pretty enjoyable. I liked the casting seemed to be pretty good. So
yeah, no, I liked the Vault Dwellers.
Yeah, it was cool. It was just like it was cool. Yeah, it's a good show. It's a pretty good show I'm surprised they were able to do a lot with it. Mm-hmm. I know there was a lot of complaining online about aggressive like violence and shit, but like I mean that's kind of the world that it is, you know.
Yeah, it's a post-apocalyptic society. What do you think was going to happen? Well, and not only that, but like in the game, like you could do targeting, like you could like blow off arms, you could do all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
I was like, you had to do that in some instances, otherwise you'd get killed. Triple your opponents and shit.
Yep. Yeah, the VAT system.
Yep. The VATs. Yeah, it was pretty good, man. Yeah, I mean, I wish there was a season 2 out so I could watch some more of it. But again, like, I don't know. Everything, once you have that break, and it come in this new era we live in, once you have that big break, when they're filming again, and it takes 14 years because there's a writer strike or an actor strike or whatever the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Then you end up with some weird shit. Like, second seasons, and I don't know how many of those we're going to get anymore from mini seasons that are going to be worth a shit. It seems like most things that are coming out lately are like one and dones, and or the second season's like 2 to 3 years after the first season, and then like the interest has to be repeaked. Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It seems like the production cycle, we used to be able to get seasons like annually, right?
Yeah, which you'd think would be doable. I don't know why it's not anymore.
Yeah, now you've got like 2 to 3 year production cycles for some reason, and the problem is I haven't seen it really benefit in the writing aspect. Like most of the time, whenever something gets renewed like that, the writing hasn't improved. It's not like they're like spending that much more time in their script production.
I don't know.
So I don't know why there's such a delay.
I have no fucking clue, man. But maybe it's labor disputes. Maybe that's why it's slow now. Like the writers are like, we need time off, and this. I don't know what the writer's strike was about, but I'm sure it was something about that. You know.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, man. Fucking. There's a lot of people in this world. Like, you would think if someone's like, well, I can't. It's too much writing. I need time. Like, bro, there's like 40 of you outside trying to get in here to write a pilot or some shit. Just shut the fuck up and write a show that people can watch. Like, you're like with the actors and writers and people who bring content. Like, yeah, we like content. Clearly, we consume it and we enjoy it. But also, we consume it, meaning you put it out. So if you don't put it out, we won't consume it. Therefore, it's a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, either do your job or go get another job. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't care about you. Write a fucking show. As silly as that sounds, like, I don't care about the writer for the show, unless it's a writer that I follow or I'm related to the person and I care about them. Like, why would I give a shit who wrote fucking Fallout? I don't care. If it's good, it's good. Great. And guess what? If you write something else that was good and I see it and I'm like, hey, this is good. And I'm like, oh, wait, this is the same people that did Fallout. I really like that. Well, let me check out this guy and girl's catalog. And then turns out like you're a really good writer and you've been a good writer. Or you write one season or get co-credits for fucking writing or directing in one episode or something. And then you want to fucking go on strike. And then I look at your fucking IMDb or your whatever the fuck it is for writers, probably the same thing. But then I see your writer's credits are all like one-offs from fucking sitcoms or like children's shows or some bullshit. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Just shut the fuck up and put in work. What do you think people do?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the big things. Like, and especially with our limited attention spans, like after a season is done and like if it takes you 3 to 4 years to produce another season, dude, I've moved on. Like,
it's hard, right?
Yeah.
There's especially now with like clips being like the big thing. Everyone loves clips, right? And that's TikTok, the scrolling and all that shit. Like, oh, I need to see more. 5 seconds this, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. You know, ass, titties, ass, titties, life advice, ass, titties, life advice, ass. You know, that's pretty much what I think TikTok and shit is. I don't know what else it could be.
That's destroying attention spans.
Yeah, and then those people who are growing up doing that, they're like, well, I want to write, but I don't want to write. I just want to like write.
Yeah.
Well, then I don't want to like do a lot, and then I need some time off. Like, all right, that's cool, but I guess we just have to adjust expectations, right?
Yeah.
As we get older, we're becoming irrelevant in our roles as human beings, because the older you get, the more irrelevant you are. That's just how it works.
Right.
Unless you run shit, and then it doesn't matter how fucking old you are, because you just run shit.
Yeah, and I feel like our age demographic, like we are getting to where we're almost near the end of our influential within media. Like, it seems like we've already peaked and we're starting to move back out through that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad, but at the same time, it's like, so that's why maybe we're becoming more and more disassociated with the media, is because it's not intended for us anymore.
True.
Or if it is, it's a much smaller fragment because we're no longer in that peak dollar spending heyday.
Well, yeah and no, because I mean, we are still the only ones that kind of have money, right?
Yeah, I mean, the boomers still have some, and there's Gen Xers that still have some, because we're kind of on that cusp of Zennial, or what do they call us?
That's
we're there, but like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe we are still a little bit more influential than I want to give us credit for, but it just doesn't seem like the mass media is starting to cater to us. I feel like it's now starting to target some of the 20 to 30 year olds. No,
I agree. I think you're right. I mean, there's a cutoff point, and I'm sure if you take an econ class or if you're in a statistics class or something, I'm sure there's a way to figure this out, and I'm sure you have if that's what you're into. But both of those classes fucking sucked, by the way. If you were to crunch numbers and do all these things, I'm sure you're right. There's a cutoff point to where relevancy dips, in terms of financial power within the consumerism or whatever. So
yeah,
you're right on that front.
From what I recall, I want to say it's that 35 to 45-year-old demographic was the biggest one. And I'm quickly approaching that 45 mark, right? Like, I'm going to be outside of that here pretty soon. So
yeah.
That's where I think it's just becoming more marginalized for my age.
But like, what? I guess to my point is, like, what 20-year-old is buying a car right now?
Nobody now. Fucking, have you seen? Okay, interest rates on vehicles alone. Like, I don't know if you've looked at all. You're looking at 11 to 17% interest rate on a car.
Yeah, it's rough. If you have the right credit and you've got the right and you've got a bank that you like and you have trust in the bank, you can do some work.
Yeah.
And you can get in there, but an extremely low interest rate on a vehicle right now is like 5%.
Yeah.
And that's extreme. And good luck with that. I mean, we're currently looking to purchase a vehicle, and so that's how come I know.
Yeah. No, I'm in the same boat. Like, we're looking for one for Melissa. Like, we're going to get rid of her current car. We're going to try and get something a little bit bigger for her, a little bit more substantial.
Damn, I like it, huh?
What's that?
Plus she doesn't like it, huh?
She does, but it's just, I think it's not practical. Like, we took a trip to Vegas not too long ago. I guess it's been a couple months now or whatever, but like, to have 4 people in the car and all the luggage in there, like, that was just too small. Like, they had to put luggage like on top of each other in the back seat. Like, it's just too tiny of a car for that kind of thing.
Oh, 4 people, yeah, that's a road trip, man.
Yeah. So I think, you know, if we're gonna have something kind of for the long haul, we'd rather have something that we have a little bit more space with. So we're looking at the new Chevy Traverse, the redesigned one for 2024.
I haven't seen it. Yeah, the Traverse. I know what it is. I haven't seen the new one.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just kind of where we're at. But yeah, that's the only reason why I know about the interest rates too, is because we've been kind of shopping it around a little bit, and it's like some of that stuff's ridiculous. I mean, if you've got, like you said, if you've got good payment history, you've got a good credit score, you're not going to be doing that. But most people walking into a dealership, yeah, they're looking at like what used to be credit card interest rates.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, if you're walking into a dealer, like, you're already going to be on that bracket. Like, I don't even go to a dealer. I look online. I search everything out, and then I call them, and then I talk to them on the phone, and then I'll go check the car out before I already know everything before I get there. Like, that's just having experience, you know, buying and selling, you know, throughout the years. But like, if you walk into a dealership as a younger person right now, or just anybody who's less traveled, you know, yeah, they're gonna fucking eat you alive already with the interest rate, and then they're gonna fucking gouge you with every little bit of thing, and they're gonna make sure, because they're not doing well.
Yeah,
they're fucking doing bad because they're not selling, like, especially like Dodge and shit, like Fiat, that whole group.
Yeah,
they're not selling cars. They have the highest inventory in the entire United States.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're not selling vehicles because they're extremely overpriced. Ford is up there too. Well, so is all of them are, but Dodge is and Ram, they're not doing great. So if you go into those places to get a vehicle, you would think, like, yeah, they're gonna want to sell, so they're gonna have some deals. No, they're gonna fucking gouge you because they ain't making money either. So they need to fucking hit on every sell. So you're gonna pay a fucking premium price, you know, like it's in the heydays of vehicles, you know, but not.
Yep.
This is Biden's vehicle plan.
Yeah, well, I mean, you see like some of the engine outputs anymore too. Like, if you look, like, they're all becoming smaller and smaller. I think maybe Dodge is still the one putting out some high horsepower engines that are like big block kind of engines.
Well, yeah, this is the last year for that too. It's like the last year for the Challenger and all that, with all the I don't even know what the size of those fucking 6.2. Was it a 6.2 liter or some shit? I don't even know. But yeah, the Challengers no more. So, you know, they're going to do electric as well, which is stupid. The electric is not the future yet, if ever.
I don't know if it ever will be, honestly.
I don't think so. Also, renewable energy in this whole electric movement is just the biggest horse shit I've ever fucking seen. It's the new fucking climate change, man. It's the new fucking global warming. It's EV fucking bullshit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the change from when we used to do paper bags to plastic, and now we're going back to paper or bring your own bags or whatever. But it's like, I still see the need for internal combustion engines. I don't see where we're going to go away from those, mainly because you need that energy on demand, and electric can't do that. They can't provide that.
No, I mean, unless we have like massive solar plants, which could be done, but then you're going to have to dedicate how many how much fucking acreage
Yeah.
per whatever to do that, and then you got to think about the cost it is to do all that, and then you got to think about the maintenance, and then you got to think about the fucking vandalism that is inevitably going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's like we were talking about the homelessness shit. That's the big problem. Like you want to improve everything, but the problem is going to be that anything that you're trying to improve is going to get fucked up by somebody or a group of people. Just pick your letters.
Yeah.
Just pick them. One of them is going to fuck it up. Whatever letters you come up and put them together and make a group, they're going to fuck some shit up.
Yeah, I think about like I always go back to we talk about first responders and stuff like that, and Jesus Christ, can you imagine if there's some sort of a disaster and they're like, well, we'll be there as soon as our fire truck finishes charging. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, good luck on that. And like that shit's going to heat up so quick when you're running all that equipment off of a single battery or like a large battery platform. And then what happens when it's cold in places that are extremely cold? You can't have a battery in fucking Alaska. You can't have that shit. You're going to have combustion engines. That's the only way it's going to work. And then without setting up solar, you're going to have coal plants. You're going to have things that can support the infrastructure. So it's a big funny thing, and it's fun to talk about. And then Californians and people who are less informed about certain things are going to say, well, you don't have electric, you're part of the problem. It's like, yeah, but you're still getting your fucking power from the same grid that I am. You're plugging in, dude. What do you want from me? Where do you think that comes from? Where do you think the fucking power plant gets its fucking power from? Did they just suck it out of the ground, you retard?
Yeah. Nikola Tesla's infinite energy machines are not everywhere.
No. That would be great if they were.
Yeah, no, I'd be all for it. And I mean, but I still, I don't know. I think looking at like a hydrogen engines, I think that's a good possibility, or even natural gas still. Like they can make that stuff pretty clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nuts.
It's crazy. The sort of a switch. I've been looking this whole time, sort of as we've been talking, trying to find like new shows that are coming out this year that we can look forward to, or at least because I just jumped trains of thought like mid-sentence. My bad.
That's cool.
No, to go back because my brain's thinking about something else. I have a toothache, and so like I'm constantly just thinking about that. It's bothering the shit out of me as I try to speak. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the TV shows this year to just trying to get away from the doom and gloom because there's a nuclear threat. But let's really not talk about that, right? I mean, we could.
Wait. So, hold on. We're gonna have to come back to that. Talk about the TV shows, then we got to go back to the nuclear threat. I got to hear about that because I don't know what's going on. I've been out of the loop this week. So,
oh no, it's just been warned again by Putin to fucking to stop with Ukraine or he's gonna fucking nuke us. Like he's okay. So I think we gotta listen to that guy. I don't know. Maybe we don't have to. Maybe we know something that maybe Biden knows something we don't. I don't know.
Nuclear threats.
Nothing new. Just like nothing really crazy. Just like bigger than the Cold War right now. But it's not that big a deal. I'd rather talk about Turtles All the Way Down documentary on Max.
Yeah. So what shows are you seeing? Like, what do we got?
So there's like I wanted to go to something that's going to show like all the shows, not just like, oh, this is coming up, I can't wait to watch Star Wars or something and whatever. And I wanted to see like what's coming out, because we were talking about writing and like all these shit shows coming out, and then in between these shit shows you're finding like gems that no one knows about. So like Thursday, what's today? Sunday,
May 12th.
Sunday, the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's just say Friday. Well, let's just go this week because I was just going to do Friday, but it wasn't that many. So we're going to go this week. So starting tomorrow, there's a whole lot of nothing. Then there's a whole lot of nothing on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, the season finale of X-Men '97, which I haven't watched yet. But that's coming out on Wednesday.
Chris was telling me that's really, really, really good.
I mean, I like the original. I mean, we'll see. I'll watch it. I want to watch it. I just haven't had time, and then just haven't went on Disney lately. And then you've got Netflix coming out with some Ashley Madison bullshit. But then in the weekend, this is what I was seeing last week. You have the new season of Outer Range. Not gonna watch that. Bridgerton, they have season 3. Not gonna watch that. Home Sweet Home, not gonna watch that. Young Sheldon, the series finale, so it'll be over this Thursday, and then Law and Order, the season 25 finale, will be over. So that's on Thursday, and then on Friday, what you can expect is the Big Cigar season premiere on Apple TV.
What the fuck is that?
It's the Big Cigar, and then Franklin limited series finale on Apple TV, and then Sugar limited series finale on Apple TV, and then you have the RuPaul's Drag Race premiere and all these things. What I'm getting at is it's ending time for all the shows, and there's a shitload of them. But who fucking cares about any of these? You have season 35 finale of The Simpsons next week. Okay. American Idol's finale is next week, so I can't wait for that Voice as well. That's next week. You have all these things, dude. Survivor, the Kardashians season 5 premiere. Can't wait for that. A new season of Evil on Paramount Plus. Amazing. It's like you have shows. What I'm getting at is there's so many shows, right? And they're doing their series finale, season openers, and short runs, and Netflix premieres, and all this shit. But meanwhile, like, who the fuck is watching this shit?
Well, a majority of it's such garbage. We were in Santa Fe 2 weeks ago. A week ago. 2 weeks ago.
Hanging out with Lujan?
Oh, yeah. No, we were totally hanging out with Lujan. Rick and I had to go do the 15th degree, and Chris Thrower went with us. And so we were sitting in the hotel room, and Rick and I got back, and Chris was watching a movie on Sci-Fi or something like that. And it had been so long since I've seen like what cable is like anymore. And I shit you not, there was like 10 commercials from, like, you know how they used to do the commercial breaks. And I used to think it used to be about 4 or 5 commercials in a commercial break. There was like 10 or 11.
Jeez.
It just kept going. I'm like, who the hell watches TV like this? It's such garbage. I get frustrated now, like when I get like a 30-second interruption before I have to hit skip ad on YouTube.
Yeah, same. Yeah, and then Prime Video they've started fucking commercials you can't skip either.
Really?
Yeah, you have to pay a premium for Prime. So it's Prime, then Prime Premium. So if you pay the Prime Premium, then you don't have to watch the commercials. So they just basically up their subscription price.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, what are they charging now? It's still like what? It's $150, $200 or something like that now?
For a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
It used to be $100 and it got you your free shipping, and it was like, okay, that's cool. It's worthwhile.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the shipping sucks now too. So shipping, I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah. Yeah. Free Prime 2-day delivery. What the hell is that? That doesn't exist anymore.
No, I mean, even if in a big city, like, well, I literally have an Amazon warehouse within 15 miles of where I live. I can't fucking get 2-day shipping.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck. If they have it at that warehouse, sometimes I can get it next day. But it's very small things that they would have to have at that warehouse. And it's also up to the drivers if they want to make that next day delivery. Because most of the drivers, a lot of the drivers, they don't even drive Amazon vehicles. They drive fucking rental cars or Penske trucks.
Wow.
So, yeah, man.
Well, and we're even supposed to get a Amazon distribution hub here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're Cummins sold them the lot that they had set up in town, and so they're gonna. Cummins bought the property years ago, and we were going to build a new building in town, and that's not going to happen anymore. So, I mean, that hasn't been going to be happening for a while. So they just sold that land over to Amazon, from what I understand, and they're going to put a distribution hub here.
Huh? Interesting. Well, let's make some jobs.
Yeah. Well, How much, I don't know. And I don't know if they'll deliver directly out of there. I'm sure they will in some extent, but I don't know. That'll be kind of interesting.
Amazonian.
They are spreading out. Like, if they're coming here.
Yeah, that's pretty remote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figured Albuquerque was as good as we were going to get, but if they put us, and it's not going to be a huge hub here, but they're going to put one in here, so it's like,
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see what's up with that delivery time.
Yeah, it's still going to be shit.
Yeah, sure. Speaking of delivery time, talking about movies and stuff, got some stuff I want to get into a little bit more about shows, but like fucking Best Buy doesn't sell movies no more.
Yeah, Target's even like gotten very, very few. Like physical media is going away.
Yeah, it's so bad because streaming media is crap. Like the audio quality is fucking garbage. Like I hate it. I hate it so much. Especially if like you have like a good system and you want to sound good, and then you can't bring out the quality. If you want to watch a movie, you have to get the physical media because otherwise you're not going to get the lossless audio, and then you're gonna have a bad time. But yeah, I thought that was weird. But so we did have some new shows that are bigger and people maybe shit on them, I don't know, but they had the Knuckles show that came out.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that. I haven't watched any of the other ones either, but that did come out. I don't know anything about it. I saw people shitting on it online, but I think it's because that's what people do. Then they have Doctor Who season 1. Are you aware of this shit?
Well, the only thing, so season 1, other than what they've got on Disney Plus now, they've got the new Doctor Who season or whatever, and is it starting over again? Are they calling that season 1 or is it something different?
Yeah, no, it's season 1, so it's coming off the Christmas special with
David Tennant.
Yeah, but it's I don't know how to say this black dude's name, but then Millie Gibson.
Okay.
So it's going to be their first season as the Doctor and the fucking Doctor sidekick, I guess.
I tried to watch one of the David Tennant episodes and I couldn't do it. It was too much for me.
It's fucking wokeism to the extreme, dude.
Yeah.
Doctor Who is a big old fucking steaming pile of shit, if you ask me. But
yep.
Yeah, so that's that. They're rebooting with those two. And I don't know the dude. I know her. She's been in a bunch of them. But yeah, I mean, and Bridgerton's a big deal. So that's coming out. I think that season 1 starts today. Yeah, it does. No, yesterday. Came out yesterday. The season 4 of The Boys, I stopped watching that a very long time ago. that show's garbage. But that one's coming out in June. House of the Dragon 2. Did you watch the first one?
I did not.
I didn't either. I just don't care about it, but that's coming out. The Umbrella Academy season 4. I'm semi interested in this, and this comes out in August, but I'm semi interested in season 4. Each progressive season is getting worse, as I expect would happen. But the last one was left a big cliffhanger, so I'm kind of excited about it. I've enjoyed the show enough.
I liked season 1 quite a bit, and I tried to watch season 2, and we got pretty far into it, and then, kind of lost interest.
Yep. Well, one of the main characters in the show literally transitioned mid-show, and so they had to write the character as transitioning. It's like, I don't know, I'd be kind of pissed off if, like, mid-show, like, one of the fucking actors is like, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm a dude now, and I'm going to start chop my tits off, and I'm going to...
And I'm not going to be an actor and act as a different character, so I can't continue to be the same character that I was.
I'm just going to act like myself. Is that cool? My new self. And then they're going to put me in. Could you write me in? And they did.
Yeah, so, yeah. Of course they did. They got to bend over backwards for them. It's called acting, assholes. Do it.
Yeah. But it looks like Nick Offerman's going to join the season in season 4, so that may be interesting.
I like Nick Offerman.
Yeah, I do. I like him a lot. And then in November, finally, Arcane season 2. It looks like we're going to get that. So I'm pretty pumped because Arcane season 1 was really good. And I like the lore behind League of Legends. So that should be pretty good. The Penguin's getting its sideshow.
Like Batman Penguin?
Yeah.
It's going to be the one with what's his face?
The one from the movie.
The whatever Patton. What's his name? That movie?
Colin Farrell?
Well, but who was that Batman? Was it something Patton, right?
Robin Pattinson.
Robin Pattinson. Yeah, there you go. Robert Pattinson.
The vampire.
Yeah, sparkly dude. So it's going to be Colin Farrell's Penguin from that.
Yeah, and it looks like it's the preamble to the Batman 2.
Okay, that could be good.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. I guess they're still pushing Agatha from
Disney.
From Disney. I don't know why. I fucking don't know why this shit's being. I guess they can't cut their losses on everything they've done, so they're just still pushing through with Agatha. There's a 95% chance I never see that. Star Wars Skeleton Crew. I've not heard of this. Have you?
No.
Starring Jude Law, takes place in the same part of the Star Wars timeline as The Mandalorian.
Okay.
Dave Filoni said at Star Wars Celebration that the show will all intertwine in weird ways. Spider-Man No Way Home director John Watts is also involved with the show, which is reportedly in pre-production. So there you go. That's that. I don't know what that means. Squid Games 2, didn't watch the first one.
Me neither.
And then Dune Prophecy later this year.
Dune?
We'll see.
Dune?
Yeah, Dune.
Okay.
Yeah, Dune Prophecy. We'll see about that shit because it took how long to get fucking part 2?
Yeah.
Fucks. Which comes out on Tuesday because I'm not going to watch it on streaming because, again, audio quality. And I live in a place, slight caveat, looks like they are running fiber. Don't ask me why, but looks like they are running fiber in my area.
Hey, that's cool.
They definitely are. Then they're like close to my neighborhood at this point. They've just been running it for like 2 weeks in our whole neighborhood. So it looks like sometime we'll be getting fiber, which is weird, but very good. And then back to what I was saying. Our internet sucks buttholes right now. So if I watch a movie, there's a good chance sometime during that movie that I'm going to have to fucking stop because the internet's going to shit on me. But
yeah,
that'd be good because I want to watch Dune 2. And then if we get Dune Prophecy this year, that's good stuff.
Who's making Dune Prophecy? What is that going to be on?
I'm assuming it's going to be on the theaters and then on streaming platforms.
I didn't think that was a movie. I thought that was going to be a TV show.
Let me see. Oh, it's the prequel. Yeah, I think you're right. And that's done by who knows? It doesn't say.
Okay, so that's probably a few years away, I'm guessing.
It's Warner Brothers, so there you go.
Okay.
WB, which HBO probably.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a subscription to. But if I do end up liking Dune Part 2, which I like the first one, I don't see why I wouldn't like the second one. Maybe I'll check this out because that world is like looks at Star Wars and says, you suck.
Yeah.
Because our world is like really fucking fleshed out. Mm-hmm. Like it's really bad. Like Dune's world is fucking wicked, dude.
Oh, that's crazy, dude.
The movie just wasn't that good back in the day. Like what people swear by it, but I swear that it wasn't very good. I like the new one, but the old ones I can't watch that shit.
Did you watch any of the made for TV one that they did for Sci-Fi?
No,
it's kind of looking cheesy. It's got who's the guy that played Professor X in the X-Men New Class or whatever?
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he's one of the big characters in that.
Oh, okay.
He was just really young at the time, but it's I don't know if I could do that one. Like the one with Sting and stuff like that. Like I kind of like what they were trying to do with it, but the effects and they just didn't flesh out the world that well. I don't think it was as well realized as what Villeneuve or whatever his name is. Like that dude kicked ass with Dune Part 1.
Yeah, it was sweet.
And just the world is so ominous and Man, I don't know if I want to live in that world. That's a crazy world.
Oh, dude, yeah. You heard that? I think it was on Rogan, right? Was it Rogan? The guy was talking about Dune.
I don't know.
The original writer of the books.
Frank Herbert.
Yeah, talking about like that whole shit is made from like fucking psilocybin.
Yeah, he was tripping balls the whole time he was writing it.
Yeah, like the blue juice and the fucking everything it all turned to spores and it all goes back to fucking mushrooms. The whole fucking premise is on fucking tripping and shit. So I was like, that's dope. I mean, it's just another cool thing about mushrooms, which I'm not a mushroom guy. I don't microdose, so I don't know if that's going to improve my life or anything. But yeah, mushrooms are cool. Like the diving in your mind is cool. So I like that sort of shit. And then that came out of that, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I liked the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. I liked it a lot.
I did too. The thing that kills me is that it's going to be like 3 years before we get another season.
Well, there's a release date this year for late 2024. So we'll see.
I hope it makes it, because I mean, I enjoyed it too. I don't put it on par with like Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings stuff, but no, I still thought it was really kind of cool, and I'm curious to see that forging of the rings, because I really think that's where the show's going, right?
Yeah, it seems like it will be, which will be cool. They changed some lore around. People were upset about that. I am not that much of a nerd in Lord of the Rings to give a shit. Mm-hmm. Like what I like, and it's cool. I never read the books. I just watched the shows, so I'm not that guy. But I can get where you would be upset if you were that guy.
Yeah,
I feel you. But I'm not, so it's not bothering me. But yeah, they're redoing Daredevil for early next year. Don't know if I care about that, but we'll see. I mean, it might be kind of good. They're same sort of, a lot of the same cast, but we'll see how that works out. The Marvel shows are not the best, and then of course Ironheart. We don't know if that's ever coming out, but
I don't give a shit about Ironheart.
I don't either. I don't care about. I don't care about it. Not at all.
Character was not interesting as it was. I'm like,
the comics were trash too. I hated that they went that. They had to, because you got to fucking throw a girl and make it gay, I guess. Everything.
Yeah. But
that's sort of the big bigs of this year. And to be fair, some pretty good ones in there, but a lot of just blah. Like, who cares? People care, I guess. I don't know. But that's where we are in movies. Movies and TV shows, they're just they are what they are now. Like, before, we could get behind and we can really go enjoy and have conversations about these things, and we've made podcasts about movies and about TV shows and all this stuff. But more and more, they're beginning to be huge time wasters and very large in the way of watch it, forget it, move on with your life. So it's just like consume for the sake of consuming, rather than consume for topical information where you're actually connecting with the show. You're still going to have, good writers and things like that who come across, and you're going to have like great shows, harkening back to what we were talking about earlier. But man, most things, they're really pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's just like big huge time wasters to get you away from the world, but you're not like, yeah, right.
$16 cheeseburgers.
Yeah. No fucking shit, man. I don't know where we're going. We're going somewhere, but it ain't the McDonald's, I'll tell you that shit.
Not only was the food not that good before, but now it's expensive.
Yeah. But if you want to work here, you're going to make more than the guy who's cleaning your sewers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
$20 an hour in Cali, you can move there now and work at McDonald's.
Well, hell, dude, when I was down in Hobbs, I mean, a couple of years ago, they were paying $16, $17 an hour at McDonald's.
And like at the peak of working for the city, like made like $18 an hour. So like, and I was like, oh, $18, hell yeah, finally, man, I'm coming up.
Yeah,
working like hard work, man, backbreaking work, day in, day out in the trenches, man, working late nights, fucking on call.
Yep.
$18 an hour. Well, I just flip burgers and pretty much don't do shit. $20.
$20. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I think when I was kind of transferring out of the role that I was previously in, where I was where I was having to worry about hiring people and stuff like that, like I used to kind of start people off at like $16 an hour. I used to think that was pretty fair for what we did. However, just as I was starting to transition out, that's where it was like, I was like, holy shit, we need to start like paying people $20 an hour to start.
Yeah.
Like, and it was just like within a few month period. And the thing that sucked is the people that had been with me for a while, right? I started them at 16. There's no way that they got the raises to start up at 20, at that time of frame, like within, a year and a half. No, you don't get those kinds of raises in a corporation. So, people were going to be coming on fresh that were going to be getting paid more than the people that have been there already a little while.
Yeah, and they find out about it and they're like,
oh,
motherfucker.
Oh, you got a mutiny on your hands. But there's, my hands are tied. There's not a whole lot I can do. I could put in for, market increases and those types of things, and you had to jump through hoops to make it happen. And I did make it happen for some employees, but it was like the amount of work that goes into that for something like that. It's like you're almost better off to lose some of those people, which sucks because you lose that experience. And they don't want to pay the people that were already there. I mean, usually they'll do it in about 4 or 5 years. You'll get a really nice bump, but it's like that's 4 or 5 years that you sucked it up to get to where you could finally get equal playing field with the people that just got hired.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of shit that's changed in the world for the better, and there's a lot of shit that was fucked up in the 80s and the 90s, but kind of wish wish we were living those times again.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of fucked up shit, and we had a lot of hard times in the late 80s, and the 90s were all fucked up. But man, the mid to late and early 2000s, like in late 90s and 2000s, up and even to like 2010, bro. Like, there was some hard times there with gas and shit, but like, man,
yeah,
working was work. Like, you went to work and you worked, and somewhere in like in the matter, dude, it's a fucking takeover like crazy, man. Somewhere in like fucking 5 to 10 years, and it's been in the work for a long time, but about 10 years time, they've made it to where motherfuckers just ain't working, man. Mm-mm. They just don't want to work. They don't want to work. They can't work. Maybe they can't find a job for what they were doing because they went to school for a stupid reason, right? And then now they don't have any practical application when they get out.
Yeah, and then they have no work experience.
Exactly.
Because they've been in school the whole time.
Yeah. So, like, I know you working in that industry and stuff, like, their turnover rate's always been high, but I imagine now it's just, like, fucking ridiculous. Like, you just get new people, like weekly. You just got, like, a new dude. Like, oh, what are you doing here? I don't worry, I won't be here in a month and a half.
Yep.
It's like the whole fucking country's like that. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. And, like, there's no longevity, so what does that say, like, about future of like, when people that of 20-year-old age right now, when they become 65, 72, whenever they're supposed to be able to, like, mainly fully retire, right?
Oh, dude. Well, and I mean, you think about that, like, universal basic income is coming. It's going to come. I don't know what the time frame is, right? But everybody's going to be sucking on the government's teat. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's the way it's history sure just fucking repeats, man, and we know this, and it's doing it, and it will, and it's just gonna, yep.
Yeah, it could be by 2030. I don't know. It's kind of just interesting to see a lot of that because, the AI video. I think you sent me that one robot getting up like all weird, like it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, universal basic income's coming. They're going to get us all in the government's teat. We've got all these illegals that are coming through the country right now. They're going to. I think they just passed a law that allows them to properly vote legally.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like so. Of course, like, they're going to vote for whoever's going to give them some monies. Yeah. I don't know.
Just go watch a movie, bro.
But they're all shit. Like, I don't even want to watch those.
And you watch that garbage.
Like, maybe you get 2 movies a year that are really, really good and worth a damn.
I can't remember the last movie I actually watched that I cared about. I just watch TV shows, man. Movies are a hard sell for me anymore. It's just too much to get into. Like, I don't know if I can, like, get on board with your story in 2 hours. It's very hard.
Yeah.
Some shit I can. Some shit if it's just, like, really good and fun. But yeah.
I can't wait to watch Dune Part 2. Like, that's one of those that, and I wanted to see it in theaters, but I didn't get a chance to because I was too busy. But
yeah,
I just got the announcement actually while we were recording that Amazon is shipping my 4K, disc version. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, mine is supposed to be here on Wednesday. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I like it. I won't get to watch it because I'll be in New Orleans, but I'll watch it when I come home. I'll have like a 4-day weekend. I'm going to get some stuff done.
Be Mardi Gras or what?
No, I'm going for a conference. Association for Talent Development, ATD. They're doing their conference in New Orleans, so it's a company trip.
Why New Orleans?
I have no idea.
Why? That is why would you ever go there? Even for like Mardi Gras, like why would you even go there?
I've never been. So you've been in New Orleans?
No. Why ever go there? That's got to be like one of the worst places to go, like in the world.
I've never been, so I have to give you my take on it when I get back.
Well, fucking hold on to your valuables, bro. Put your fucking wallet in your front pocket.
Well, and it's going to be humid. I don't think I've ever been to a place that, like Houston, Texas, I always thought was one of the worst places for humidity. New Orleans may take that cake.
I think you're probably right, man.
Because New Orleans is below sea level.
Yeah. I think you're gonna be hanging out with those guys, man. I don't know.
They told us take a pair of shoes that you plan on throwing away because it's so gross walking down the street.
Why would you go there? All the places to go. Why would you go there?
Oh, paid for a trip. I'm going.
No, I mean, why would they put it there? Why would that be the thing?
I have no idea. Matthew McConaughey is going to be there as one of the keynote speakers. And then I think Serena Williams is a keynote speaker. And I can't remember who the third person is.
Who?
Serena Williams, one of the tennis girls, one of the twins or whatever. Serena and Venus.
But I don't know if I heard you right. Why?
I have no idea. I don't know why Matthew McConaughey is speaking there.
He's just going to come out with his hair and be like, power, poise, protection. I don't know what he says. He just says that shit. He just says like words. Like, I don't know, dude. Okay, that'd be kind of cool though. You'll get to see that guy, I guess.
I guess he wrote a leadership book or something. I'm like, really? Like, okay.
Well, he's big on that, I guess.
I suppose so.
What am I looking at, man? I'm looking at the doomsday clock.
Oh, how many minutes to midnight?
90 seconds.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Damn.
The doomsday clock, which shows how symbolically close the world is to nuclear Armageddon, is to remain 90 seconds to midnight. Yeah, that's where we are, man.
You know what? I don't. What scares me the most in the United States, it's not nukes, because I don't think they would let nukes off the chain. I mean, they may in some way, but and I've been surprised that like Ukraine, like we haven't seen a tactical nuke used there yet. But I don't think the only reason why I don't think they would in the United States, I think my biggest fear in the United States is an EMP. Which I mean, it's typically delivered nuclear, but like my big concern is an EMP. Like if they take down our electrical grid, that's going to just fuck us up in a whole nother way.
Yeah.
Because I personally, I would be like, well, why do we want to glass that place? Because I mean, once nuclear war starts, like there's no stopping. But if they do an EMP, it'd be like, well, we're all still alive. We won't be in a few weeks because we'll rip each other apart. But
it's slow. Yeah, it sucks.
And then all the natural resources are still intact, and you don't have to stay far away from it. But
Yeah, that's maybe a high altitude detonation or some shit. I don't know how that works. Get that imp.
The imp. That's what terrifies me. I mean, if it really goes nuclear, like if they start letting nukes off the chain, like, yeah, I mean, that's world is destroyed at that point. Like,
yeah, they got a lot of old shit though. So like, they probably what are they running, man? I don't know what kind of shit they got. They got a lot of old equipment, a lot of old, like, but do they have like nice bombs and shit? They probably do. I don't know.
They have more nuclear weapons than what we have.
Yeah, but are they good? Like, are they gonna?
Have they continually updated them? That's a good question. Like, I mean, are they as accurate as what ours could be? Probably be. I probably doubt it, but
yeah,
it's one of those things where I think if they let nukes off the chain, then I don't think accuracy really matters much.
No, probably not.
Like, oh man, you missed your target by like 350 yards. I'm like, oh shit, well, don't care.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Fucking nuclear threat, and then like it's all the buzz, right? It's back to the fucking Cold War style, and like everyone's freaking out about that. And it's like, well, what's going on here? Like, what else is going on that they're not telling us, and they're having us look over here because they're doing some other shit. Again, could be EMP shit. Could be the secret people that keep running around that people see sometimes. I don't know. Might be the secret people.
The secret people?
I don't know what you want to call them, man. They live in the ocean. They live in the ocean, bro.
Lizard people.
They live in space. They live in the ocean. They live in interdimensions.
Interdimensional beings.
You can see them every now and then.
Well, and you know what's crazy too is like we had all that crazy stuff about the UFO thing for a while there, and that's kind of gotten quiet again. Like we had all that
I don't know.
Government investigations were going on, and now that's gotten quiet again. And I was listening to a book. I think the author's name is Annie Jacobson, and I listened to one of her books that I listened to was Area 51. Like, basically, she's not going like she doesn't go crazy with like the alien conspiracies or anything like that, but she just takes the hard facts from the research and development that was going on at Area 51 with the stealth technologies and the SR-71, and I'm sure like the B-2 bombers, those types of things. Like a lot of that stuff, like she goes through the history of that she can actually substantiate, right? Mm-hmm. And how much of that actually took place at Area 51. The book that I'm going through right now, it's called Phenomena, and it's about the remote viewing programs that the CIA was doing. Yeah. And that's actually, it's been really interesting so far. So much of that has been substantiated, even though they act like it's like, oh yeah, no, that's still so fringe. But it's like, they've been doing this shit since the 60s.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
It is nuts. And it's like, the stuff that they were able to prove, it's like, so that is a thing. Psychokinesis, telekinesis. Not everybody can do it. And it's like, you know, as much as they've declassified with that, they continue to do that stuff. They haven't stopped. You know they haven't stopped.
Yeah. Well, of course not. Why would they? Why would they stop?
They won't. Yeah, I mean, unless it was found to be completely useless, but they still found use for it. I don't know.
I mean, our knowledge of things is so limited, right? We're limited by our own. For one, we're limited by our own imagination, being able to implement that practically, you know, so we could think of things, can imagine things, then we have to implement those things, which means we have to understand those things that we can imagine, right?
Yeah.
Which is why we have fucking Star Wars. It's why we have Dune. It's why we have rocket ships. Because people imagine something and they fucking they find out a way to do something practically. Not just imagining this universe of Dune and Star Wars, but also practically, how am I going to bring this to light? I want to speak it. Well, I want to write it. Well, you had to learn how to write. You had to learn how to speak. You had to learn how to think this. You had to learn how to fucking put shit on film. You had to learn what film is. Everything is of imagination, and it's set only by the limits of our practical implementation, right? So if you think about this technology that we don't know, of course they're going to continue doing shit because it's only our imagination practically being limited. So of course they're going to keep pushing the envelope and keep trying to do different things, this information. So I don't know where does stuff come from. A lot of the stuff I think there's the camp that it's alien, there's the camp that it's us in the future and we're going back in time, there's the camp that it's people who lived here this entire time and we're an experiment, and they're throwing us a bone every now and then. People have said that. And then there's the interdimensionals, like people are fucking jumping in and out of fucking time pockets or planes or different dimensions. Because do we really understand dimensions? I don't know. We haven't practically figured out how to fucking take that imagination and put it into play. We only have very small snippets through math. We haven't been able to figure out, how that actually works. Or does it really work, or it's just theory? We haven't figured it out. But, one thing's for sure is somewhere in the fucking 19th century, the 20th century rather, we jumped so exponentially high in technology as opposed to the rest of our recorded history within such a short time frame that something happened, man.
Yeah. Have you watched sorry to jump around here, but have you watched Terrence Howard's latest talk on that kind of thing with the math and the frequencies and...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, dude. Yeah, I get the idea behind it, and I want to, it's interesting to me. I don't know anything about that dude, except for he made some movies once.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I'm like, he's an actor. But it seems like he sounds very intelligent. But
he's extremely, when he speaks, I'm like, oh, okay, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But what is he talking about, and is he full of shit? Just because you know what you're talking about doesn't mean that you fucking know what you're talking.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's. But yeah, now it's very interesting. And there's been theories about vibrations and how shit was moved, like with the pyramids, right?
Yeah.
Using sound and and noise and frequencies to move shit rather than manually, And there's theories to back that up, of course. But there's theories to back up other shit too. What do we believe? We don't have any literature to show us. At one point we may have. You can thank Spanish for that. May or may not have had, ideas and thoughts that we could have fucking drawn upon there in the Library of Alexandria. But the Vatican very well may have that shit in their vaults too. We don't know.
Yeah.
Someone burns that fucker down, then we'll never know. But not advocating that, but it wouldn't be the worst thing. if it. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's who knows what really happened in the information that we're getting. So I think all these thoughts, again, imagination, we just don't know how to implement these things. So, but the more we're learning, at some point maybe we may be able to get onto it. But that vibrating thing is cool. The idea behind it is really cool.
Yeah.
It reminds me of not just the vibrations of we were talking about mushrooms a bit earlier. When people do mushrooms, they say they hear a thrum or a rhythmic pulse, but it's not like a hearing. It's like a feeling. It's like a knowing, but it's rhythmic. And all people say they hear the same shit or they feel the same shit. So I don't know. Maybe there's something to it when you get outside of your mind and you get into what you really are as a being, whether if you want to call it spiritual or just whatever. We are just beings made of carbon and whatnot. So there's a resonance to us, of course. Everything has a resonance to it. That's evident by a tuning fork. It's just the way life is. Everything has a frequency. So it's why we use it so much. That's why it's one of the number one ways we communicate through frequencies. So, of course, if you can hear a frequency, and some animals hear different frequencies than we can. So it would make sense that would be something that would have been tapped into that we have lost, over the ages. Whether you're in the camp that we are a 5,000-year-old civilization, or we're hundreds of thousands, up into millions before we were actually the first human being was born, the actual human being, or the actual, what are we now?
Homo sapien.
Homo sapien, yeah. Before, like, the first Homo sapien was born, and they were like, look at this thing, deformed fuck. And then it deformed. Then the next couple of babies, then all of a sudden, here we are. But, or we fucking 5,000 years ago, two people had sex, and there you go. We're all from these people.
Well, and one of the things that I think that he said that I thought was kind of interesting was, and it's something that I've heard from, there was a guy named, and I don't know if he was a doctor or not, but Nassim Haramein. He was a guy that I used to listen to a long time ago. And do you remember that name at all?
Yeah, I do. I don't remember. It sounds familiar, though. And
one of the big takeaways that I always take is that, like, when we look at an oscilloscope, right, and we see like a waveform on an oscilloscope, it's a two-dimensional representation of something that exists within 3D. So like when we talk about frequencies and stuff like that, yeah, we see like a line go up and go back down, but that's because we're looking at it from a cross section. When in all actuality, those are spirals, those are circles, right?
Right.
And everything in our world exists, whether we look at galaxies, we look at the Fibonacci sequence, those types of things. So we're seeing a cross section of something that is moving in a three-dimensional space as opposed to just up and down.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, what Terrence was saying kind of resonated with me in that regard. And I just don't know if we can. I don't know enough about the math, and I'm not even going to pretend to know about the math to be able to say, hey, this is where we're going to come up with the hypotenuse of this situation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's for me what resonates the most is that we need to take a step away and stop looking at it from such a flat top-down view and start to think outside of the box and start adding those extra dimensions into it so we can actually kind of maybe formulate a little bit better about what's happening. Yeah,
it's hard for a lot of people. It's hard for me. It's hard for anybody. Artists have a lot better of an ability to do this because the creativity, I think the creative portion of it is important. But to see in 3D, like instead of just seeing in a flat plane, so like when I draw on a piece of paper, my brain's so stupid. I have a hard time visualizing. I can visualize it. I can see it when someone else does it. But when I try to do it, it doesn't make sense. I don't know how I can draw this. And I can draw a 3D box and make it look like it's a 3D box or something. Yeah, I know concepts of close and far and space. I get it. I get what space is within a piece of paper. I can make that, but not very well. And I couldn't draw something like a still life that would show depth because it doesn't make sense to my brain. I can't figure that out. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I could probably teach myself a little bit, but the point I'm trying to make is if you look at everything that we do, it's all on paper, it's all on a screen. So when people look at the universe or they look at pictures of space, right? They see it as flat. So they think like, well, if you go northeast, you're going to go to this planet. That's not how the fuck it works.
Yeah.
When you get to space, there is no northeast.
Right. There's no up, down, left, right.
That shit does not exist. That is something that is imposed upon us here to navigate here in a small area.
Right.
But once you get there, shit is as 3D as it comes, right? And that fourth dimension there that we are trying to interact with is I think a key thing. But like up is not up. So when we look up, like, oh man, if we could just go up, you go to the moon. Yeah, you wouldn't go to the fucking moon if you just went up.
Yeah.
You would just go somewhere. You wouldn't be going anywhere. You just go fucking off into nowhere. You might find something.
Eventually.
Yeah, there isn't no north. Like once you get out, there's no more north. Like you're going to have to fucking have coordinates and you're going to have all these different things that do mapping and all this different shit, right? So visualizing that is hard just in general. And then like trying to come up with technologies that use these different frequencies of these different dimensions, which was my point, that dimensions are hard to fathom just in and of itself, let alone trying to come up with ideas that these dimensions are used for. So I don't know.
I completely agree. Like, it's tough to be able to wrap your head around that. And I mean, it's always easier for us to imagine the 2D rather than the 4D. Like 3D, we understand the grasp of it because we navigate within a 3D space, like what you're saying, right? But once you want to go to that next step and include like a fourth dimension, like that's where it gets like, our brain doesn't work to process that.
Yeah, it's the simple practice, right? Well, something you could do, everyone could do. And as you get older, it seems a little more difficult, but it's not. You just have to think on it and ponder on it a little bit more. It's just to fathom the amount of space that we live in.
Yeah.
Like the size of the room that you're in, the size of the house you're in, the size of the property you're in, the size of the neighborhood. Then exponentially increase your thoughts. The size of the city, the size of the county, the size of the state, the size of the United States, or wherever you reside, right? And then eventually you're going to get to space. And then, okay, well, the size of what do I know in space? Well, I know the solar system. So the size of the solar system. Well, how big is the solar system? Well, the sun is the center of the solar system here. And the sun is 100,000 times. I don't know how much larger it is than the Earth. I don't know the exact thing, but it's extremely large, right? So how big is that? And then how far are we from the next, like Andromeda? Like, think about that. Like if you know these things, then you can easily just know them. But if you don't, you can just look them on the internet. And then once you know these things, just think about and then focus in on that. And like, okay, well, how far is Andromeda from here? And like, okay, well, how far is a light year? Like, how long would it take to go a light year? So what is that distance? And then figure that out. And then, ponder that, and then look, that's just the closest fucking galaxy to ours. Well, how big is our fucking galaxy, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. And our galaxy is not even that big. It's relatively small, actually. But it's humongous. So I like them. But yeah, you look, they're showing these pictures on our Discord if you don't know. But that's what I was referring to. But anyways, once you get to the point where you're if you general knowledge know, then that's good. But once you get to the point on your deep dive of searching for these, and then just actually your quandary of how big things are and how small you are in this actual place, it's just as foreign as whatever's bigger than what's bigger than a trillion?
Quadrillion.
Is that what comes after trillion?
Yeah.
It's quadrillion.
Quadrillion.
And then what's after quadrillion?
Quintillion?
Is it quintillion? Yeah. So if you just keep going up to whatever the max is, it's the same thing if you look at a dollar bill and then you were to look at a quintillion dollars.
I can't even fathom, I've heard of a billion, right? But I don't even know if I can really fathom, because it's 1,000 million.
Yeah. And
then to get to a trillion, you're looking at 1,000 billion. And then a quadrillion, it just becomes it's ludicrous at that point. You can't.
It doesn't make sense, right? Mm-mm. Well, that's what I like with the universe, but even more so. Because what did they say? There was something I saw was really cool. If you were to, there was some a grain of sand or something. The grains of sand on the earth is not even close to how many stars are in the Milky Way.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Or is at least equivalent, if you took all the grains of sand on the earth, that may be the equivalent numbers to what's within our solar system or within our galaxy. Yeah.
So, that's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense. That makes zero sense, man. That's a lot of looking. So the amount that we don't know is a lot. So the fact that we do know some shit is actually pretty impressive. Whether you think of our life, and sorry, my tooth is fucking killing me. Whether you think of our life as special on our earth, we're the only, we're God's chosen people, we're the only ones. That's fine. But also, there's a lot of other shit out there. So just the depth of that, being the only in something that is unfathomable, is actually quite astronomical. It's quite literally impossible.
Yeah.
Like the possibilities of the only life being here and then being where we are in the society and dealing with EMPs and dealing with everything from nuclear war to stubbing your toe on the coffee table. It's like, it's astronomical times infinity. Like, it doesn't make any sense. That's what we deal with. We have to deal with fucking Putin and Biden and whoever the fuck else. Meanwhile, unfathomable is everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's mind-boggling. Like, just talking about it and asking like someone to participate in what I was talking about, to go down this hole, just talking about it has already got me fucked up. Yeah, my brain screwed up. Like, I've already done cell therapy, right? I've already decided this morning that life is fucking silly. Just now in the last 5 minutes of talking, like, nuclear war, I don't care. Like, what am I supposed to do about all this? I can do nothing about this.
There's nothing you can do.
I can't even figure out.
If we can't figure out the homeless on the street, we can't figure out nuclear war. You know,
I can't figure that out, let alone anything. And meanwhile, we are less than a speck of a piece of an atom of a fucking neutron. I don't know, whatever the fucking smallest shit is that we know, a quark, right? Yeah. We're less than a quark from a sand particle in a drop of a tank in this fucking universe. We're less than any of that. We're so, the universe is so unfathomably big that we are almost like, if you put it into numbers, like what we are in matters of this universe, it would be exponentially 0.0 to the fucking nth degree 1.0 bajillions 1. That's, we're worth nothing in the scheme of things. So,
well, it's either we're worth nothing or we're worth everything if we're the only thing that is in existence. Like, if this world is that. There's that. Although that is a crazy, like, that's a waste of space. If we have all that space out there, and this is the only spark of consciousness that exists.
True. I mean, yeah. I mean, and there you go. That speaks to God, right? So if you want to be on that camp, I'm okay with that too. Like, I'm okay with you thinking that, because why wouldn't you think that? Because of course there's too much. Like, I can't handle it. I don't know. Something else has to have handled it. You're right. I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
My reasons, but I agree with that statement. Exactly. You know, you can call your God whatever you want to. I could call my God whatever I want to. Maybe we agree on our gods. I don't know. I have no idea. But what I do know is that at the end of everything, somebody believes in something. Whether you believe in nothing, you also believe in something.
I believe in science.
Science and shit.
As science.
That's my little whatever the fuck that was.
That's your little quandary there for the day. Yeah, that's like, that was one of the reasons why I uploaded those two images. Was, I think as a kid, like that bottom picture that I put in the Discord, like that's what I always thought of as the, you know, our solar system. Exactly. When in all actuality, it's like the one up above, because everything is spirals and everything is spinning all the damn time, and it's spinning upon spinning. Right? It's not just sitting in one space. It's moving.
And it's moving fast as fuck too.
Yep.
fast, man. The whole thing is moving like a ship, like a blast. Yeah. Imagine that. It's like a fucking rocket.
It's like a rocket spinning around at like crazy speeds, and we just happen to be, we're on spaceship Earth, like flying through the fucking cosmos.
That's wild. And in order to get out of that, in order to fly out of that, you have to do some extreme math, brother.
Yeah.
Because you're on a planet that's moving, that's orbiting, that has a moon around that's slowly leaving around the sun. I mean, we're slowly leaving the sun too. Like, it's just inevitable. But that's like, again, unfathomable years that will ever happen before we actually get rammed in by Andromeda or, a different galaxy,
Yep.
Because that'll fucking happen too. Anything that can happen probably will, because every scenario is accounted for because of the vastness of what we know of time, right?
All the probabilities, yeah.
Probabilities. It would just stand to reason that, at some point that shit would happen. But yeah, that's wild, dude. Just to think about, like, we're just this giant fucking missile, and we're not even a big missile. It's just this little tiny missile.
Yep.
Just shooting up. Like when a meteor crashes into the Earth, right, through the atmosphere and breaks into dust, and then we just see shooting stars, right? It doesn't really do anything. Like that's exponentially bigger than what we are in representation to our solar system shooting through the galaxy, and then our galaxy shooting through the universe, right? Yeah. It's a grain of sand, man. It just doesn't make sense. When there's galaxies that are fucking 100 million light years across, go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah.
With the fathoming, I'm sorry, you're not fathoming shit. You're not. It just doesn't make sense, bro. Oh, we can get to the next solar system, the next fucking galaxy. It'll be amazing just to get out of our solar system and then just see the next thing. No one will ever see that. It's light years. Sorry. Good luck. You have to fucking bend that space-time shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean...
And then again, there goes to the rhythm, and the fucking Gloria Stefan told us a long time. The rhythm is probably going to get you, you know what I mean?
And that's galaxies upon galaxies upon galaxies.
That's GOG, man. Galaxy on galaxy, bro.
That's some hardcore stuff that you see on Pornhub.
Yeah, you check out our Discord. We got some pictures up there just showing fucking stacks on stacks of galaxies looking like a petri dish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like a petri dish of like a drop. You just threw a drop in there and checked it out.
Yeah, it's nuts to me. Like, I mean, each one of those, like, and I don't know if that's our Milky Way, like that bright one right there. I don't know if that's us or not.
No clue.
But it's like, then you got all those other ones that are just sitting out there.
Just chilling, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about.
And then you have the, what's it called, the fucking galaxy eaters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Giant holes. It's just this giant fucking mass that just goes around collecting galaxies.
Yep.
It just sucks them up, and then it just walks around with them, floats around with them. It doesn't really float. It's obviously faster because it's catching these galaxies and just like sucking it into it. So like the gravity behind it is like the sun, mm-hmm. but it's a galaxy catcher. What the fuck, dude? And we know shit? Sorry, we don't know nothing.
We don't know nothing. We know nothing. And I would say, I think on that point, is there anything else you want to bring up today?
Yeah, let's talk about fucking genetics. Can we? No, dude.
Yeah, buddy. All right, man. Well, we do appreciate you all listening to us today and going down. Man, we went down some weird rabbit holes.
Yeah, we throw in a little pop culture and a little bullshit.
I know one last thing I wanted to ask you about. You were talking about Baldur's Gate, like some of the changes they've done. What do they got implemented right now?
The gate, yeah, and more to come too. More to come. So the dark orgy. Ooh. I mean, you can kind of do that, I guess, in the game. Fuck, man, my tooth is not the best. So, they have the Dark Urge storyline, which is a unique storyline. I won't get into it because it's pretty fucking cool, but it's called the Dark Urge. So just take that how you will. What is that? Well, when you play the game, you'll have new narration options because you're playing this. So you'll have the narrator will say different things. You'll have new rolling options for your class that are different from anything else. And you have things that happen during it that are different from any other character, which is fantastic. What they implemented was new evil shit So it's really cool. They have new evil endings. They have darker endings that you can with different characters. And there's more to come in future releases, like really soon too. I think within like the next couple months, if even that. Of different endings, different storylines, different people you may meet. So they're constantly adding to this fucking game, and of course, which is awesome. But what I've been doing was I'm doing the Dark Urge storyline. So what they added, like in March, was an honor mode, right? And what honor mode is just like any other game that you would play, whether you play on. I'm trying to remember the difficulty levels, but there's like honor mode is the highest, and then there's one below that, and then there's one below, and then there's the lowest one. But I think it's story, the beginner, and then tactician, and then honor mode. Well, honor mode uses the tactician difficulty, but you can't scum save. Okay. What I mean by that is you can't when there's a fucking dialogue option going to come up and you're going to have to roll for it. You can't save and then reload, repeat to try to win that skill check. Okay. It's one save only. And you can save.
But is it like a checkpoint type save?
You can save whenever you want to, but it will periodically save for you. It will save a lot. And anytime you do and you load into any transition, it's going to save for you. And if you have connection to the internet, then you'll probably have cloud saves. And then if you try to go against your cloud save, and then you're going to have fun with Steam and all the other shit trying to get your game to work. So just don't play on honor mode if you don't want to play on honor mode. But long story short, it will save for you. So like also if you're in a battle and the shit's going south and you're like, fuck this, and you just cut off, it'll save it for you right there. So you'll come back on and be like, all right, well, let's see if I got some leniency and I get to fucking go back a couple of steps. And no, you'll be right where the fuck you raged and left. It'll save right there for you. So that's what honor mode is. And you play through. It's one life. Once you die, game over. You don't get to reload. You don't get to reload the game. You're back to square one. So if you put in 40 hours, 50 hours, you could easily do that before you hit Act 3. Simple.
Damn.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, I've only been to Act 3 twice, dude, the entire time I played the game. Yeah, it's a fucking massive game. Anyways, you could also beat it quickly if you wanted to. Digressing, just talking about honor mode, sorry. You could be 40 hours into it, and there's a big break because there's a big boss battle that a lot of people die on. There's 2 of them. I have not passed one of them in honor mode. The first one is the Forge, and that's pretty deep into Act 1. And you're getting really close to getting up to Act 2 and getting like some real good content, right? But the Forge is I died on it twice now, and so you lose honor mode and you start all over. However, they did implement something which I think is really cool, where you can decide to lose your honor. By doing so, you forego the honor mode option, and you get to continue playing, but you will be labeled as dishonored.
Nice.
Yeah, so they're kind of cheeky with it, right? They're like, well, yeah, we get it. You put a lot of time into it. You don't want to restart, so you don't have to, but you're going to be now on a dishonored run. And what a dishonored run is the same thing. You really can't do anything different except you can reload. So if I die, my game's not over. I just start over back when I saved.
But you lose that completion of an honor mode.
Exactly. But you're still beholden. You can't scum save. You can't just jump. You can't load a game while you're playing a game. Let's put it that way. So like if like you're in the middle of a fight, you can't say, fuck this, I'm reloading the fight. You're going to have to fucking complete that fight, and you may die. And in which case, it'll start you back over right where you last saved, and you do it again. So there's no instant reloading. So that's dishonored mode.
Gotcha.
I did dishonored mode, until I got to the second big boss that kills honor mode runs, and it's quite known. And this is the miracle run. I won't say it's what the fight is, but it's the miracle fight. I won't talk about it because it's a surprise. But if you haven't played it, but it's the miracle battle, and I got there in Dishonored. I have not even gotten close to getting there in Honored mode, but I got there in Dishonored mode, and I actually could not complete it in Dishonored mode either. I had to restart completely because that was impossible. Like I had exhausted everything. I had the items. I couldn't do anything with the items that I had anymore. My characters I couldn't do anything. Like no matter what angle I tried, I could not beat it. So I just didn't have everything I needed for that battle. And when you play honor mode, you got to play silly. You got to play crazy. You got to run away from a lot of shit. You have to have a lot of potions. You have to have a lot of fucking scrolls to throw crazy shit out of there. You have to do wild stuff that you wouldn't normally do. You have to get creative. So that's kind of what honor mode is. I've been playing that. And the Dark Urge storyline is it's really cool. So I'm playing my Dark Urge again this time, and I'm trying something different. So we'll see. I mean, I'll give you some updates in a couple of weeks whenever we do our next podcast to tell you kind of where I'm at. But I am currently not even close to the Forge. I probably have another, I don't know. I have a long ways to get to the Forge.
And they're not charging for these expansions or anything like that, are they?
There's no expansion yet.
Okay. So this isn't technically an expansion. They're just adding on some extra storyline and stuff. Is it new dialogue and everything?
Yeah, dude. Studio is great, man. The studio is fucking great. And with all the accolades from winning Game of the Year and fucking everything of the year, they haven't stopped, man. They're full force. Yeah, there's no fucking DLCs, man. There may be DLCs down the line. I don't know. But no, it's all fucking updates, man. They're just updating your game for you, giving you new dialogue from characters. So they're bringing actors back into the fucking fold and throwing down dialogues. They're putting new missions in there. They're constantly working. Dude, there's an update patch quite frequently. So they're constantly working to improve the game for the overall player, and also putting in new content for people who like me want to continue playing the game in new fun ways and shit. So, and believe me, dude, there's so many classes, there's so many subclasses, there's so many ways to play, there's so many ways you could be within those classes to play. You can play evil, you could play neutral, you could talk to this person, you could talk to that person. I found 2 people this last run that I've never even fucking seen before, and guess what? They're pretty fucking big because I'll meet them again, apparently, just from what I've been looking online, because I'm trying to figure out who they were. So, like, the game is pretty cool. I fucking had an interaction with a character that I've used this entire time. I've had an interaction with them out of nowhere that I've never fucking seen before, and it changed the complexity of my complete run. So That's much crazy. So I had to go with a different character. Because I had to fucking get into it with this character, and it turns out, well, I have to fucking have a different character, which means I have to figure out a new build for these characters that work with my party. It's pretty wild, dude. It's pretty wild. But that's what I've been doing. And so they added that, and then they recently did an update last month, about a month ago. And that was a big update where they did all the Dark Urge stuff and the different storyline options and the different evil endings, which I haven't fucking seen yet, which is really cool. And there's still stuff to be added to it, and they've talked about doing it. So some of the characters that you may like, they're not going to have the endings that you want. They're working on getting those endings in there to cater to your playstyle, so that way you can play however you want. You're going to get a fucking ending that is substantial. So
all this time later, you still recommend Baldur's Gate, right?
Yeah, dude, I can't recommend it enough. I'll be honest with you. I don't know that there's a game alive, period, that fucking matches this game. I don't think there is. It's cool. Not for what it is. If you're into D&D and you're into tactician style gameplay and you're into story, there's none. There isn't an equal. There isn't an equal to be found. Their equal was their own game, Divinity Original Sin 2. And that's the same studio.
Yeah.
And this game is Divinity Original Sin 3. That's essentially what this game is. But it's got the backing of D&D. So all the things, including all the lore. So if you're a D&D buff, don't know, Chris. Yeah, I'm sure he's played this game. If not, he's fucking seems like.
No, I don't think. I think he just now got the system to be able to play it. Like I think because he doesn't have a computer that can run it. I don't think because it's pretty intensive, right? Huh?
It's not that intensive, dude.
No, I've always heard like it needs quite a bit of horsepower behind it.
I mean, I guess you could run it on lower settings. It's not going to hurt you.
Make it look like poop.
Either way, someone like him who knows D&D stuff, like there's tons of lore in this game that you can tap into. That's in like characters that are known throughout the D&D universe, specifically the 5th edition. That's what this is referring to. Yeah, there's tons of character references on there, and there's history checks and lore checks that your character can have if they have higher history or had investigation or arcana on their character sheet. You're going to learn history shit that you may know in real life by playing fake Dungeons and Dragons, in your fucking playthrough sessions with your friends.
Yeah.
So like, it's not a one-off. It's set in that universe. The 5e universe, I'm not 100% sure which, but I'm pretty sure it's the standard. So if you go get the standard book, that's what it's set off of. I can't remember what that's called. I don't know that much about it, but yeah, I think if you want to play a fun game, you can, and you want story, and you have an idea of like you're okay with tactician, but you're not too crazy about it, then put it on story mode. Create your favorite character you want, or select from the fucking 8 characters. 8 characters, the 8 pre-made characters they have, and then play their storylines. If nothing else, you have 8 runs you can do, all different stories, because each character has their own story. And then create your own character and create your own story, and then interact with people that you wouldn't even know about, and then create your own stories. So you do whatever. I'm telling you, man, it's a no-brainer. If you don't like tactician games, if you don't like story games, if you don't like Dungeons and Dragons, if you don't like good entertainment, then don't play the game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no downside, dude. Time's your downside. It's long. It's crazy long. But put in 2 hours a week, an hour a week, and you have a game to play for a very long time, and you'll look forward to it, and it's fun.
No, that's awesome.
The devs care about you because they care about the game that they made, and you'll see that. It's evident. If you want to fuck a squirrel, you can fuck a squirrel.
Sold. And like I said, on that note, I think that's where we're going to stop today. So
you said it at the end.
Well, I had to ask. I was like, I knew it was going to bring us a little bit more conversation. So
yeah, well, you fucking did it. Don't ever do that.
I know.
I'll fucking talk all day about it, man.
I know.
Bad fucking tooth breath and all.
Bad tooth breath and all. Well, go get that tooth taken care of.
Yeah, tomorrow, I guess. That's when stuff's open.
Gotcha. Cool. Well,
All right.
Thank you, Dylan, and thank you, everybody, for listening.
We appreciate it.
Bye.